Freemasonry has been branded as a secret society, sometimes as a cult, with a supposed agenda that spans from the worship of Satan to political and world domination. This is simply not true. Freemasons are men who have joined together for the simple reason of camaraderie and of making themselves and the world around them better in the eyes of all. Every club, group, religion, school, team, and nation has symbols, logos, or icons which are representative of that organization. Freemasonry is no different. It has a multitude of symbols that are used to explain the ideals upon which it is founded. The most common and endearing of these are its working tools. The working tools are referred to as such because they are just that, tools which have been used for millennia to design and construct the magnificent structures, temples, churches, halls, bridges, and buildings which mankind has desired to build. They each have their own purpose in the world of construction, but more importantly to a Freemason, they each have their own purpose in the building of friendship and brotherhood.
They symbolize the requirements that Masons should hold themselves to: honesty, loyalty, dedication, in a way that we should build upon our own foundations to become better citizens and better people and help other Masons in times of need.
The 24-inch gauge is an implement used by operative Masons to measure and lay out their work. In Freemasonry, the 24-inch gauge is emblematic of the 24 hours of the day. It is a symbol to teach us the value of time well spent and a reminder to allow time for vocations, worship to God, friends and family, and rest and relaxation. The common gavel is a tool used by operative Masons to shape rough stones for the builder's use. In Freemasonry, the gavel reminds us to knock off our rough edges, to prepare ourselves as building blocks for our own spiritual temple. It also represents the tongue of the lodge, bringing forth order.
The gavel is, a tool of control, attention, order.
The plumb is a tool used by operative Masons to try perpendiculars. In other words, to make sure that structures are built upright and not at an angle. In Freemasonry, the plumb reminds us to walk upright through our several stations in life, not only before our fellow man, but before God as well.
The plumb is a tool that they're used for uprightness, and that relates to us trying to be upright in our lives.
The level is a working tool used by operative Masons to test horizontals, to make sure that there are no slopes or angles in their foundations, their floors, or their walls that might distort the structure. In Freemasonry, the level reminds us that we are all working upon the same level. We are all equals.
Again, I go back to the level, because we as Freemasons, and when we meet within our lodge room or without the lodge room, we should look at each other on a level ground, that not one of us are any better than the other. We're all men looking to be better, to find the good in everybody, to be better people overall.
The square is an implement used by operative Masons to square their work, making sure that everything comes together at the proper angle, 90 degrees, and fits snugly. In Freemasonry, the square reminds us to square our actions by the square of virtue.
If you know what the building is square, it teaches you to make things square and even. And that's the way I try to lead in my profession as well as my life in dealing with other people.
The square is basically the square of virtue, a square of actions, which means do unto others as you would have them done unto you.
The trowel is an implement used by operative Masons to spread cement, whereby a building is bonded or united into one large common mass. In Freemasonry, the trowel reminds us to spread the cement of brotherly love, that part that binds us into one large unit. These are the working tools of Freemasonry, the items which allowed operative Masons to build such magnificent structures in the past and present, when symbolized, allow us as brethren to build magnificent and wonderful lasting relationships among others of our equal.
It is a guide. It is a guide for who we are as people. It's a guide for how we treat others. It's a guide for how we live our lives, and those tools are just symbols to help us lead us upon those ways of making good decisions in our life.